From the beautiful campus of Casper College, it's the T-Birds Coaches Show, bringing you game breakdowns, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews. Here's your host, Tom Myler.
Hello, T-Bird fans, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Casper College Coaches Show. Joining us once again in studio, Coach Angel Sharman. Welcome.
Thanks.
And you know,
here last week.
I know, so sad. I mean, Coach Kelly did an amazing job. We love having both of you, but you know, it's just you're kind of the OG, so it's kind of nice having you back in here in the studio.
She does a great job, so she could take over.
Yeah, it's true, and I feel like between the two of you, you're vibing, the team's vibing. You're on a 10-game win streak. You're now locked in that first place seed or number one seed for coming up for playoffs, which it's a while away, so we won't even mention it again.
Well,
but
yeah, I mean we're number one seed right now, but we have a whole new round, so we play everybody again. So anything could happen. We just got to keep our focus.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're gonna play some of those teams that were really tough just this weekend. And that's with volleyball. Anyone can beat anyone at any given time. I mean,
Absolutely.
as any sport, but volleyball, I feel especially with that whole momentum and that mind game, just you never know what you're going to get.
You don't know.
And so, great segue then. So let's talk about where we're going. Unfortunately, you're not here, folks, which is always a bummer. I feel like with volleyball, you're like never here. Like you're kind of here, but you're never here. And we're always bummed because we want to watch you here, but then you're not.
It's just the way the schedule is. I mean, next year's going to be flip-flopped
Right.
because we do 2-year schedule in advance, and so it's just the way it is. So, like, next year we'll be here more, and then we'll be on the road later on in the year. So it's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is, right? But anyway, so you're on the road this weekend. You play Northwest first, and then you flip around and go and play Central Wyoming. You handled Northwest last time fairly well. Central gave you some tough times, but let's start here with Northwest. Obviously, you're not going to expect the same kind of a result. What can we expect this time?
Yeah, definitely when they're playing at home. They're playing very well at home. And again, I think she's changing her lineup just a little bit. I watched her play some other teams, and so she's changed up a little bit. And so we're still going to go in with a game plan of what we need to do. Don't look at them how they played us here. So that's the biggest challenge I think we're going to have to with our players is not focus on how much we defeated them here.
Right.
Is just to go out there at their place and play our type of game and not take it for granted.
Yeah, that's got to be – I mean, playing anyone twice in a season, it's just like, hey, we've seen them before. You know, we handle them like this, especially if you do have it where you win in 3. It's just like, okay, guys, you're still doing your stuff. You're probably going to see a different look. Go out there and just play. Like, play hard.
And plus, she had quite a few people that are injured as well. And
so you're going to see a different look
she
even.
could have a couple of those back, I think, by the time we play them again. Who knows? And so, again, that's the thing that, you know, you got to look at. And you tell your kids that, hey, they're going to have kids back, and that changes their dynamic. So, and plus, just playing at home changes everything anyway because they have their own fans, their families. So we just have to take control of what we do.
I mean, I absolutely agree, and I feel like, I mean, with this team, that's you're getting better every week. You're taking care of business. I mean, I don't know. I feel like just go out there, play your game, and things will probably go your way.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with this group. We've always tell them keep our tempo, not everybody else's tempo. We got to keep our tempo. But volleyball, it's hard to do that. Because, again, if you are a fast-paced team, if you play against a slower team, you kind of fall into that rhythm a little bit. But I think, you know, from the last weekend, I thought our defense really picked it up. And I think when our defense goes really quick, then our offense is quick.
Okay.
We focused a little bit more on defense a little bit today. So, again, I think we're going to need that against these teams this weekend because I think Central is, you know, we play Central on Saturday, and, you know, I think we're kind of pretty close to the same. You know, they kind of like a little bit higher ball, but their tempo, they're a great blocking team. So I think if we can control our pace, then I think they're going to struggle a little bit. But I think they also had some injuries too that happened, so their lineup's going to change a little bit.
Yeah, and they're going to be scared too because last time we played them, we went to 5, won in the 5th set. I mean, Central's always been kind of dangerous, kind of that sleepy, just scrappy team that
They are.
if you don't play them tough and just go in there thinking, oh yeah, we're going to go and win, they're going to beat you.
They are, but again, we're going to have to make it a little adjustment because again, their number, I think 12 got hurt last week, and so I think that's going to change their lineup a little bit, and so that might change a little bit of our game plan because she was their leading blocker and hitter. And so I think we're just going to have to focus a little bit, I think, on their pins a little bit, but at the same time, we're not going to change too much because, again, they can do things and change against us. So we just focus on what we need to do because they have to stop us too. So
that's absolutely. So you as a coach, when you go into a game, so I mean, we've talked about we control what we can control. What are some of those things that you as the coach can control in preparation for a match?
Well, I think, again, we have our scouting report, and so we can tell them, hey, this kid usually does this. This is what she's going to do, so we can set up our defense to move shift. We can bunch block. We can, single blocks. We can bunch block the middle, but really fly out to the pin. You're going to be a solo blocker. So we have different game plans for each rotation. But again, we focus on that a little bit, but we don't dwell on it. We just try to fix them and try to teach our kids that, hey, this is where they go. This is how it can make it easier for us to get an in-system ball, because they try to get us out of system. So, but I think when we run out of system, we're pretty fast tempo anyway, because I think 90% of the volleyball game is out of system.
Yeah, that's why it helps to have athletes that can go and dig it and then get it back into system and have someone who can make a nice set, give a perfect ball to get a kill.
Yeah. So, coaches, we just have that game plan, and, you'll see Kelly saying, hey, we know a lot of teams have tendencies of where they're going to run their routes, and so we just watch. That's why we watch film.
So it basically sounds like your game plan is just, okay, here's the situation, here's who you're matched up against. Are you calling out like, hey, 1-1 because, hey, that's where you need to place it? Or because it seems like just you got to know what situation you're in. This is how you're going to adjust to that situation. Yeah,
you'll hear us, and then you'll also hear the coaching staff of, hey, watch 33 running a red on this play. And, again, that's just from us watching film. The kids watch film, but we don't dwell on it as much. We just say, but then they get into the game, and they're focused on where they're at, but they don't remember, oh, this is what she runs. And that's what we don't want them to be. It's our job to say, hey, remember, this is what she runs, but don't get stuck on it. Because, again, volleyball, they think we're going here, but we're going to change it. So that's, game plans are always changes, but we always have a backup as well.
Plans within counter plans, within plans. I know we've said it a million times, but volleyball's such a mental game. Holy smokes. You got to be – that's why the trope about athletes not being smart always bothers me because, like, if this athlete is not smart, they're probably not going to be performing as well as they are.
No, I mean, volleyball, you have to be smart. And, again, we don't dwell – if we hit a ball out of bounds, if we don't dig a ball, we are really focused on the next play. Because, again, we always say the ball doesn't remember. You do, but the ball doesn't. So why are you worried about something that happened 2 plays ago? So that's taking you out of the play now. So we always say, forget about the mistake, focus on the next play. And we said that from day one.
Absolutely. So we talked a little bit about this upcoming weekend, and my fault, we didn't even talk about last weekend, really. Right. So you go into Eastern Wyoming, go into Torrington, you beat them 3-0. And then you go in and play, look at me, wrong sport, sorry, 3-0. Yep. And then you go into LCCC, who was tied for first with you, and you handle business 3-1. And we had a little fun conversation there about some of the things going on there. But you go in a tough place to play against a tough team, and you beat them 3-1. You handled your business. How does that feel getting that win against one of the tougher teams in the North?
Yeah, it felt great. I was really concerned with them. But again, they... I don't know if it was us. I think a little bit with them too is, maybe they weren't playing their best because I've seen their middles and their outsides hit extremely well. And so, but again, I thought our defense was really good. So, I think it was both things, and so we'll have to just be ready for them next time, because they're going to be out for blood.
Yes.
But I was very proud of our team going in there, because again, we could have just laid down and said, hey, we're tied. When they pushed, we pushed back. So that was good to see.
Absolutely. So between the Eastern Wyoming game and the LCCC game, what would you say did you have a favorite moment or something that a player did, or just what was kind of something that's like, that was awesome?
I thought we were just really, really, I think Eastern was just one of those games that just kind of was just, I don't know, just like another game. I didn't see anything real flashy. I did think Ava Udis had a wonderful game. First time I seen her get mad and really set me the ball. So that was good to see.
It's dangerous when you see those athletes get
Yeah.
mad. It's like, oh, okay, maybe we want them to get mad next time.
So that was good to see. But I think LCCC, what I was really, really pleased with was how scrappy we were. I think that really kind of took LCCC out of their game plan, because I don't think they were ready for the ball to come back. But we also, when we brought the ball back, we were in system, even though we were kind of out of system, just because we were scrapping everything. We had kids diving on the floor everywhere, reading the play really well. So I was really pleased with everybody on that situation.
It's funny that you bring that up too, because that's got to kind of be demoralized for the other team. Because I know when we've gone and played like Colby, for example, or some of those really tough teams that, like, any ball that you whether serve over or you're hitting over, they're somehow getting there every time, and then they're able to return. It's just like, that was a great ball. How did you do that? And then for us to go and do that, it's just like, all right, that feels good to be on the scrappy side.
It's frustrating when you play teams that just keep digging a ball and bringing it back over, digging a ball, bringing it back over, because it gets just frustrating, and then you try to make that adjustment when you swing, and then that's when you make the errors. So we focused on defense all the time, but that game was probably one of the better ones I've seen.
Well, they definitely are rolling and peaking at the right time. I know we've got plenty more games to come before playoffs, but it's kind of nice to have that vibe, that momentum rolling. And, I mean, we really saw it too. You got 2 players of the week for the Region 9. You got Peyton Kruth, offensive player, and McKenna Lorenzen as defensive player. So really getting some accolades, some credit for some really good players you have.
They are, and again, it's they get that recognition, but at the same time, for them to get that, it takes the whole team. So
absolutely,
that's one thing about volleyball. You get the player of the week, but really, for Peyton to get offensive player, you have to have the passer, which, and then you have to have that setter that gives them that good ball. So defensively, you've got to have the blocker. And then you have to have the setter and the hitter to put that, take care of the ball that you put up. So again, it's a great team effort. I'm proud of everybody that gets the player of the week. We've had it quite a few times, which is fantastic, and it's multiple people. But that just shows how well we work together to get that, how many different people we get player of the week.
And I know we've talked about it many times that, we're such an defense team. It's like, well, you got to have the offense to have the defense, and then back. It's a vicious cycle, but obviously it's working, and that's how volleyball works. You can't just be really good at one thing and then not.
Right.
You forget about the other ones. To be a really good team, everything's got to work together.
And again, we talked about that today. We started off practice a little rough, and I just told them, we got to just not be happy digging the ball up. We got to be able to dig the ball to where we are able to do something with it. So we really focused on making that dig a better ball than what we did last time.
Man, so what's cool about this team is you're at the point where it's like, now you're nitpicking. You're like, hey, that's great that you dug it. Make it a better dig.
We are, but they like that challenge, and that's one thing with this group. They're so competitive, just not even in just games, but in practice. I mean, they are complaining that the ball's in or out, there's a touch, it's a lift, whatever. I mean, they're so competitive in practice, and so that's what I think is making us better. Because again, they want to be better and not just be mediocre of what we do. So again, we had that fight yesterday. It wasn't a fight, but it was an argument, and so, which is great to see.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we're thrilled with how the season's going. We're super excited. I mean, watch you online. We want you back.
Next week.
You'll be back next week, so we'll make sure to be there. You know, we always love watching you, but we're just excited. I think things are going really well right now.
So far.
So far. Well, Coach, we appreciate having you in here, and, well, we look forward to watching you online this weekend.
Appreciate it.
But until then, folks, we will see you next time.